right, hey? Maybe I'm just bored today. And that's why. No, I'm not bored. Um, Welcome back to another Uneasy Mind reaction. Today, we're reacting to Don't Chase Happiness. Calm, Anti-Fragile. I think the speaker here is Tal Ben Shahar. And of course, I like the way they set this up. I might set my no, I can't set my videos up like that. But Big Thing gets a channel which we're taking this video from and reacting on. Let's make this a full screen. Make sure it's in 1080. Routine. Let's get right into the video.
There are only two kinds of people who do not experience painful emotions. The first kind are the psychopaths. The second kind are dead. There is a false understanding or expectation that a happy life means being happy all the time. No, learning to accept and even embrace painful emotions is an important part of a happy life, and the study of painful emotions is an important part of the field of happiness
Ooh,
studies.
this is good.
My name is Tal Ben Shahar. I'm a student and teacher in the field of happiness studies, and my most recent book is Happier No Matter What.
Shout out to Tal.
There is a very important concept that was introduced by Nassim Taleb, and that is anti-fragility. Anti-fragility is essentially resilience 2.0. Resilience 1.0 is when we put pressure on a system. After the pressure is lifted, that system goes back to its original form. Anti-fragility takes this idea a step further. You put pressure on a system, it actually grows bigger, stronger. We see anti-fragile systems all around us and within us. For example, our muscular system. We go to the gym and we lift weights.
That's right.
We're putting pressure on our muscles. What happens as a result? We actually grow stronger. We're an anti-fragile system.
Whoa.
On the psychological level, you know what that's called? PTG, post-traumatic growth.
Whoa.
So where post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is about breaking down, post-traumatic growth is about growing stronger as a result of pressure, stress. It's anti-fragility. The role of the science of happiness is to teach us what conditions we can put in place to increase the likelihood of growing from hardship.
That's great.
Now, there is a paradox when it comes to pursuing
Lord have
happiness.
mercy. I should have known.
On the one hand, we know that happiness is a good thing, whether in and of itself or as a means toward other ends. At the same time, we also know from research by Iris Moss and others that people who say to themselves, happiness is important for me, I want to pursue it, those individuals actually end up being less happy. In fact, they're more likely to experience depression. So the paradox is that on the one hand, happiness is clearly a good thing. On the other hand, valuing it as a good thing is problematic. So what do? The way to resolve this paradox is that we pursue happiness indirectly.
I think that goes along with, was it Schrodinger's theory? Or not theory, experiment with the cat. Okay, so like I think the idea, at least what's going on in my head right now as watching this video, it's like once you I guess focus on something, it kind of goes away. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like, dang, I'm trying to find a way to explain it. My mind is like buzzing right now, and I'm like surged with energy. It's a good feeling of breakthrough. Well, it's not breakthrough. I've had this thought before, and I'm trying to explain it. You know what? It's not coming to me right now. I can't force it. But basically, the idea is that once you focus on something, it kind of goes away. So the idea is to set it and then forget about it, and then do your due diligence, and eventually it'll find its way back as you do what you're doing. As you do whatever it is you're doing, you have your goal, then you have your steps to your goal. Forget about the goal, do the steps, and then before you know it, your goal accompanies you on your journey. I guess that's the way to look at it. But there's more to it. Dang. I guess I'm at a loss for words. That's how good this video is. Let's take it back a little bit though.
So what do we do? The way to resolve this paradox
Tell me.
is that we pursue happiness indirectly. Think about sunlight. So if I look at the sun directly, it's going to hurt my eyes. However, if I break down sunlight into its elements, into its constituents, I can look at the colors of the rainbow. So I'm indirectly looking at the sunlight, enjoying it, savoring it. In the same way, pursuing happiness directly can cause more harm than good. But breaking it down into its elements can lead us to enjoy the indirect pursuit of happiness, and by extension, to raise our overall level.
So it's like finding, well, like he said, breaking down, but the parts in which make up happiness. So instead of chasing happiness, I guess, do things in which can bring you happiness. So, like, for instance, people won't, I guess, wake up and like, instead of waking up and say, I want to be happy today, you wake up and then do something which you know is going to bring you that sense of happiness. Like for me, I love to work. I love to provide. And I love to be there for others. So I got to find things in which I can do, which will allow me to work, allow me to provide for others, allow me to be there for others. And as I'm doing those things, I'll look up and I'll realize, oh, wow, like I'm happy. I think, at least that's what I think is he is getting at, Mr. Ben Shahar. But yeah, let's continue on with the video. Take it back a little bit. It's not a weird start.
Extension to raise our overall levels of happiness. What are the metaphorical colors of the rainbow when it comes to happiness? Here we have what I've come to call the SPIRE model, and it can trigger the anti-fragile system. SPIRE is an acronym that stands for spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and finally, emotional well-being.
I like that.
Spirituality is about finding a sense of meaning and purpose in life, at work and at home. If you wake up in the morning with a purpose, you're more likely to overcome barriers. When it comes to physical well-being, the most important idea to look at is stress, the silent killer. In the United States, more than half of the employees do not use up their vacation time. And even those that do, close to half are still tethered to their work. The problem is not the stress, it's the lack of recovery. With intellectual well-being, there's research showing that people who are curious, who ask questions, are not just happier,
That's us, y'all. That's
they
us.
also live longer. Another important element is not just asking questions, it's deeply engaging with material. It can be text, a work of art, even nature. Relational well-being is very important. The number one predictor of happiness
And I love
is
family.
quality time we spend with people we care about and who care about us. And it turns out the number one condition that we can put in place to increase the likelihood of anti-fragility, of growing through hardship, is the quality of our relationships.
Having a core.
Finally,
wow.
emotional well-being. So embracing painful emotions is critical, but how do we then cultivate pleasurable ones? Specifically, the emotion of gratitude. Cicero talked about gratitude as the mother of all virtues. When we appreciate the good in our life, we have more of it. So happiness is much more than pleasure. Happiness is whole being. These five elements together create that sunlight, happiness. I don't think there is a point before which one is unhappy, after which one is happy. Rather, happiness resides on a continuum. It's a lifelong journey.
Right.
And knowing that, we can have realistic rather than unrealistic expectations about what is possible. I do not think that things necessarily happen for the best. However, we can learn to make the best of things that happen.
Right.
Get smarter.
Clap it up, y'all. Now, this was a phenomenal video. Can't tell, right? Yeah, I can't tell if it was the music, which was inciting certain emotion within me, but I feel great after listening, after listening and watching this. But yeah, I don't think I need to say any more. The idea of just having that go. He spoke on our relationships. That's one thing I gotta write down. I gotta come. Maybe I'll come back. But Spire. That's a great acronym. But the R, relationships. That's one of the main things I look to keep me intact. I have great admiration for my relationships, and for the people on the other end of those relationships. It's this endless, how do I say? It's just this abundance of love for those people, and it's not a lot of people. Because me personally, I'm not a big group type of guy. I like to keep it small, and it's easier, I guess, in my sense, to manage and to keep. I feel like it gets more personal when the number of people in which you have relationships with are less than what they could be. But yeah, no, I definitely look to my relationships to maintain me and keep me upright, especially in times of when I'm going through mental or emotional turmoil. One of my good friends, I think I've referred to her a couple times uh, throughout these reactions, but I had a breakup like a couple years, 2, maybe 3 years ago. I was down bad, but she was there, and it was like that relationship I had with her, which allowed me to regain myself, regain composure and confidence. Reinstill myself with confidence. And she's the one that what's it called? Inspired. I can't believe I'm at a loss for words right now. These words usually come easily, but she's the one that prompted me. I guess that, yeah, prompted me to continue working, continue going through life, not to be, I could go through my saddest, for the month, a couple months in which I was down about life, about what happened. That was all right, but at some point I would need to pick it back up and to continue on with life. She was the one that relayed those messages to me, and thankful for that. So, but like my relationship with her is also the same which I have with the other people in my circle. My mother, my other, my group of guy friends. We have a group chat. Father, sister. So they're all there. I think in life we need a support group. I think that's very much. I don't want. Well, should I call it necessary? I don't want to say it's necessary, but it's I guess beneficial is the word that's coming to me, but that's not what I wanted to say. It's useful, but yeah, don't need to say much more about that. Then came to the end of the video. Great video. Big think. Shout out to Tal Ben Shahar. If you're not going to leave a like, if you're not going to subscribe, if you're not going to turn on post notifications, although I wish you did do that, make sure to leave a comment. I would like to have a conversation with you. Good day.